That's not why he's in business. He's in business to make money. There's the basis of the capitalistic system, the profit motive.
I still say you can't leave government out of the discussion. Government must at least guarantee the right of private property and freedom of contract.
That's why we're holding this forum. Now it's up to you. Listen, consider, discuss. This is your forum.
For months now, in Europe and the European Union, credit and sovereign debt crises have been escalating.
It was an illusion to think that we could have a common currency and a single market with national approaches to economic and budgetary policy.
As a condition of the financial backing dispensed by the European Central Bank and the newly established Euro bailout funds, these governments are now forced to introduce a new round of austerity measures.
Governments have introduced emergency measures to rescue capitalism.
With major reforms.
Should these measures fail, politics and the media assure us, collapse, recession and mass poverty would be the result.
A member state, of course, has the right not to accept decisions. But the member state has not the right to block the moves of others. The others also have their national sovereignty, and if they want to go further, they should go further.
With this strike, unions hope to convince the socialist government to abandon a labour reform which cuts down unemployment benefits and eases redundancy procedures.
In an obsessive hunt for competitive advantages, neoliberal policies have brought financial markets to a boiling point. Be it the dot-com boom, the bonanza of real estate funds and derivatives, those bubbles have burst one after the other.
Bonds that are designed in a way that rewards those who play by the rules and deters those who don't.
With an economic crisis that has saddled Spain with the highest levels of unemployment in the Eurozone.
Things can't go on like this.
This paves the way for more neoliberal reforms, whose social impact will be felt for decades to come.
If we don't resist.
Over the past decades, capitalist globalization has intensified competition between private corporations and national economies alike. All leading industrial nations have thoroughly deregulated their markets and have imposed that model on others.
The EU, its member states and other European countries are intensifying competition and introducing devastating public austerity programs to secure private profits.
This is not the result of individual greed or the corruption of a tiny elite, as many claim, but of the trivial systematic imperatives of capitalism as a social order.
In doing so, however, they are reproducing the destructive logic of capitalism.
Capitalism means crisis, powerlessness and poverty, contrasted by private wealth.
That's why the system needs to be changed.
Of course there has been widespread protest in many countries.
Keeping up the pressure, public sector workers have been out on the streets of Athens again as they continue to lash out at economic reforms.
Tens of thousands had marched on the Greek parliament in Athens. A few pelted riot police with rocks and fire bombs, and they responded with tear gas.
But up to now, even mass demonstrations and general strikes haven't achieved much. National unions generally bow to the demands and constraints of domestic capitalism. But if you don't understand this...
Come here. This is why we're here. Unobtainium. Because this little gray rock sells for 20 million a kilo. That's the only reason. It's what pays for the whole party. It's what pays for your science. Brendo?
Current policies in the EU and in Europe as a whole are as speculative as capitalism has ever been. That's because austerity measures are jeopardizing economic stability just as much as debt-inflated growth. There can never be salvation in capitalism, only endlessly recurring crises. We don't want to save capitalism, we want to overcome it. We oppose nationalism. It is crucial to fight against the continued erosion of social standards, but we need to aim higher.
Okay.
Capitalism is the crisis.
Hear what I have to say to you. Capitalism is everywhere. You're coming out of the house in your everyday life, and we, together, we have to overcome it, to overcome the system. It's a movement not like the movements before. It's our movement. It's our day, 31st of March.
Feel free to step in any time.
The crisis may manifest in varying ways in different countries.
But we all share a common goal.
Things will change. Promise.